cities are going to be completely rebuilt.
Yeah.
New cities are going to be built with the understanding that self-driving cars are going to be prevalent. So if that's the case, how do you optimize the layout? How do you optimize what you have in the city?
Yeah,
it completely changes everything.
So then we're really seeing wide-scale unemployment. I mean, like mass unemployment.
The way I view this coming disruption is that I think the next 5 to 20 years are going to be extremely rocky, extremely disruptive. It's going to cause a lot of people to lose their jobs because they're going to be literally uncompetitive with the alternative, which is going to be able to do that same exact job for a fraction of the cost better all the time without having to sleep.
I think that should give us courage.
Exposure to other people's perspectives.
It's moving us in a good direction.
Farzad, how's it going? I'm supposed to record it for Reed. How's it going, man?
Great to meet you,
I'm
man.
super excited. So, dude, I'm sorry I have to like do this.
It's all good.
I'm super excited about this.
I'm excited too,
I'm
man.
heavily invested.
Okay.
I love Tesla. I'm a huge fan of Musk, batteries,
Let's
robo-taxis.
Heck
I
yeah.
want a short Uber.
Yeah.
I'm totally excited about this. Tell me, what are we doing?
So we're gonna hail one from the phone right now.
Oh my God, we're gonna hail a robo-taxi. My financial advisor does not want me to invest in Tesla, and I just put even more money in Tesla. Even this guy, you don't like Waymo. This guy doesn't like Waymo, he likes Tesla. Okay, so let me see what you're doing here.
So I put in Terry Black's barbecue right there. Okay. Then I'm going to say book a ride. It's going to be $2 to get there. So I'm going to book the ride.
How far is it?
It's about a mile away.
Okay.
And it says our ride's going to be in about 14 minutes. 14 minutes away to come pick us up.
Why
It's
is it?
coming
Why
from
is it so
South
long?
Austin. They probably don't have enough cars in the region. There's more demand, which is pulling away cars from. And they have a limited fleet going in Austin right now.
Okay, so here's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
There's no possible way Uber can survive.
It doesn't seem that way.
It's just not possible.
It doesn't seem that way, no. So just do the math. Would you rather go in an Uber where you might have to talk to a driver, inconsistent car, kind of maybe sometimes crazy driving, or you pay less than half the price and you get a car to yourself, you get a consistent experience, it's more comfortable, it's a Tesla every time, right? And it's going to be safer over time.
Even if we said you're wrong about every other thing other than the price,
right?
Or people didn't care about it,
right?
Then I still don't understand if again, please correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
I don't understand how Uber can survive. I just don't
I
think
agree.
it's
I agree with you
possible.
100%. I agree with you 100%.
Okay, so then why isn't everybody shorting Uber?
It's because people, I think, are waiting for Tesla to prove the thesis out. Because it sounds crazy. It sounds crazy to say that there is a company, there's the robotaxi right there, that there is a company that's going to literally disrupt the hell out of Uber.
Oh, there's a person in it.
There's going to be somebody in the passenger. Yeah, they have safety riders. They're just observing to make sure that everything's good because it's in a beta test right now. How's it going, boss?
What's up, man?
You to the app? Nope. Oh, you good? All right.
Hold on one second.
No problem. All right, so we put our seatbelts on. So this is what it looks like. So it asks you to fasten the seatbelt. We'll go ahead and fasten our seatbelt, and then we're gonna go start ride.
Okay.
And it's gonna go boom, boom, and then we go. And then you can also see that you can also control the robotaxi using, or your settings and stuff, right?
And this dude is just sitting there because it's in beta.
Correct. Yeah. Right now, it's a. There's a lot more people using it now than when they launched. I think they have like 15 or 20 cars in the fleet right now testing in Austin. But yeah, he's just here to make sure that the car, if it gets itself in some crazy situation, he can just real quick intervene. And they have some buttons there. You see how it says pull over, stop in lane, support. So those are his buttons to make sure that if we get into some sort of unsafe situation, that he's able to interfere. But as you can see, the driver's
And are you not allowed to be on your phone?
He's not allowed to talk, actually.
You can't. He can't talk.
No, he can't talk.
He can't talk.
This is like my 60th or 70th robotaxi ride, and I'm pretty sure I've met all of these guys, and we just sit here quietly and just enjoy each other's
So they should just put someone in there who doesn't speak English and make it even easier. Okay, so explain this to me. So I honestly do not understand this. Like, and I say this, and people look at me like I'm not a retard, but like that I'm.
They look at me like I'm a retard.
Oh, do they really? Okay, so I mean, can you imagine how Boghossian must feel? Oh my God, like people think. Okay, so explain this to me then.
Yeah.
I don't understand. So if we both agree that it is not possible for Uber to make it.
Correct.
I also don't think I think it falls from that it's not possible for Lyft to make it.
Correct.
Okay, so why doesn't everybody short Uber and Uber particularly? Why not? Hey, did you know only half of you watching are subscribed? If you're enjoying the content, hit the subscribe button to keep the videos coming. Thanks.
When it comes to things like these, I feel like the statement is so outlandish
I know,
that you
that's
have
right,
to
right,
wait.
right.
You have to wait for the proof in the pudding. And so, from that perspective, from an investor mindset, I totally understand, because most investors are not going to be risk takers in this sort of, like, let's say, like I am from a thesis perspective, that's going to say, when you have something like this where there's nobody in the driver's seat, this car right here, they're making 1 million of them per year. It costs no more than $35,000 to build. They're building at least 1 million of them per year. And all of them are equipped with the hardware necessary to drive themselves literally anywhere in the United States. And they just came out with a new software update this week that's going to make it even better. So when you take that equation and you compare it to an Uber, and you just say, if the technology is good enough to drive anywhere in the United States, like once they get there, what is Uber's chances of survival? Zero, because Tesla would never in 1,000 years let Uber just have their cars when Tesla controls.
It doesn't even make any sense.
They already have their own app.
Yeah, it doesn't even make any sense. So my financial guy was totally against me buying Tesla. So
Oh, boy.
Reed told me. So what I wanted to do is I moved out of the cesspool where I was living in Portland. I have a humble house, and I wanted to sell it. And Reed was like, "You've got to sell it and buy Tesla." And he told me that at like 320. And I told my financial guy I want to sell my house and buy Tesla. And there was a long silence. He didn't say anything.
So what was his reason? Did he give you any reasons as to why he didn't want you to invest in it? Like,
He
what
thought
was his...
it, well, okay, so he's like, we have all these supercomputers and we have teams of, and I'm like, dude, I have fucking Reed. I would take Reed over your fucking 5,000 supercomputers.
It's all you need is Tylenol.
Yeah.
Right?
I got that one, that's good.
Yeah.
Okay, so I say this to people and they look at me like I'm insane.
Yeah.
So what do we need to know, people who don't follow the stuff about robo-taxis and stuff, what do they need to know?
I mean, what they need to know is that there's a company, there's an American company that is literally solving for self-driving while they've been selling cars for the last 5, 6, 7 years, where those cars have been collecting data in the tens of billions of miles per year that have trained an artificial intelligence brain to learn how to drive. And nobody seems to have realized that at all, because Tesla doesn't do any advertising. And the only attention that Tesla gets in the broader public, especially as of late, is look at the psycho CEO that hates you. You know, that is trying to create this like dictatorship thing with President Trump and all this. Like, it has been viewed through a weird lens. The thing that people should realize is that Tesla has been building vehicles for the last few years that have been collecting data on the road. And that data, that video, has been fed through an artificial intelligence brain that is teaching cars how to drive. And those cars now are on the road right now taking fares without a driver or nobody behind the steering wheel, operating as a ride-hailing network that's completely self-driving with a car that costs less than $35,000 to build, where the company can make more than 1 million of them per year. That's the story just with the car.
Okay, so let me ask you a question. So Reed told me this, and this was like a major light bulb for me. I was like, holy shit. He said that anybody who can afford one of these cars can buy them, and let's say they have a 9-to-5 job.
Yeah.
And they get up at 8 or whatever, and they're in half an hour, and maybe they have coffee there or lunch. They bring their lunch or whatever.
Yeah.
The guy over there, he's like, okay, this is pretty cool. I see some future in this. He puts down 45 grand for a Tesla. It becomes a robo-taxi.
Yeah.
And then when he's at night, he's sleeping or whatever.
Yes.
Or after he comes from the gym, he goes home.
Yes.
And he just makes that a robo-taxi.
Yes, that's the vision for sure. 100%.
Okay, so my
the
thinking
vision.
is correct.
That's the vision. Okay. Correct. That's correct.
So,
all right, we're here.
real quick, so it doesn't matter if he only sends 1 million of them.
Thank you, boss. You too. Thank you, brother.
All right. Oh, you do speak.
Thanks, man.
Okay, so when you say 1 million a year, you mean he can make 1 million robo-taxis?
He's making 1 million of those a year. Yeah, robotaxi.
Okay,
right
but
there.
what if somebody else wants to buy one and make it a robo-taxi?
Yeah, so the Tesla, so the only way to operate them as robotaxis is on Tesla's app. So you have to be on Tesla's network. That's part of the strategy.
Okay.
I mean, that's a smart one, right? Because you can see, like, if Tesla decides to give up their entire competitive advantage, which is being able to manufacture millions of robotaxis per year, Why would you let somebody else run that for you when you can control the entire stack and set the price and price everybody else out and control the entire experience? It makes no sense to give somebody else the business when you are 99% of the miles.
But okay, I'm going to push back
Yeah,
on you a little
please.
bit, okay? But they're not giving someone else the business because they're buying a Tesla.
Yeah, but if they're operating the Tesla on their network, like let's say Uber takes it, right? And say Uber wants to run Tesla on the Uber network, who makes the money on top of the miles operating the fleet? It's going to be Uber, because Uber has to pay for their
I see
business.
what you mean, but
you know?
wouldn't that just be a reason to let people do that and to either do one or two things, dramatically increase the price of the Tesla? Or just the second option is to just say you have to be on our network.
Well, that's the direction they're going to go. It's like regardless of who operates it, it's going to have to be run through the Tesla network.
So it's less important that they sell the cars and more important that they make money from the road.
100%. It's going to be the driverless miles. It's the driverless
Okay,
miles.
so that's
correct.
what I was missing.
Because that's where the margin is. It's in the driverless miles. It's the car. The car is pennies on the dollar. If you have a robotaxi that operates over 5, 6, 7 years and it's doing, let's say, 30,000 miles a year at, say, Uber rates, that thing's going to cash flow like $500,000 at least.
Dude, that's fucking fascinating.
Right?
What blows my mind
Yeah.
about this is how many people don't get that.
I know.
Like they just
Because they don't-
just can't fathom
Because
it.
it's an impossible thing to think about that there's really a self-driving car that's being built in millions of units per year. It's a crazy thing to say, but it's like that car just took us from downtown Congress in Austin to Terry, and that car that just took us here, they make 1 million of them per year, and it drove us here.
And they can operate. And do they have places, self-cleaning stations or something?
They
How
have
do they
a-
want to clean them?
They have a pilot station, I believe, in South Austin somewhere. So that's going to be the build out that's going to need to happen, right? It's going to be the cleaning
So
places.
you need infrastructure.
Correct.
So if someone is in there and they commit social justice, that's a nice way of saying they
there you
defecate. If they commit social justice and defecate all over the place,
There you go.
they need to. It needs to go to and that's going to be fully automated.
Over time, I'm sure, right? Because then that's what the human or robot can be a piece of, right? There he is. He's back. That's what the human or robot piece is.
Do we want to?
Oh, you know what's another funny thing? So here's another point to drive it home. So at the end of the ride, it asks, would you like to leave a tip? Okay? So now remember, there's
Why?
no drive. Okay, so
Yeah.
now I hit that, and it says, haha, just kidding. Right?
and-
Just to drive home the point a little bit here.
Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna go to, let's go to Longhorn Stadium and make fun of the Longhorn football team for not doing too well this year. How about that? Texas, Longhorn.
I know nothing about football. I've never watched more than a minute of a game in my life.
I'm
Bores
a-
me to tears.
I'm a huge Penn State football fan, and
Why?
Don't even ask me.
Okay, so people cannot understand the enormity of the change that's coming.
Yes, it's quite large, but again, it's one of those things where it's sort of hard to communicate to the layman because it sounds so crazy. It takes time. It takes time to sit down and do the thesis analysis, and you have to spend a lot of hours to validate the thesis because the thesis is crazy.
I know,
The
and it's
thesis
totally
is
crazy.
crazy, so you have
know.
to spend time to validate that. Am I going crazy?
Okay,
you know?
so here, maybe this is outside your domain of expertise, but let me
Yeah.
throw you this. This is one of the things I've been thinking about, and again, correct me.
Yeah,
I'm not an expert in this at all. Let's say that you and I are correct.
yeah.
Let's say that when do you think the Tesla takeover will happen?
I mean, it's definitely going to be gradual, for sure, because you think about how many cars are there in the world. There's over 1 billion cars in the world.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah, there's a ton of vehicles. So it's going to take time for Tesla to proliferate everywhere, but you're talking about a total addressable market that's gigantic. And so it's going to be one of those things where
3 years.
no,
5?
what's your goal? Like every car is a
No,
self-driving car?
when's Uber gonna collapse?
When's Uber going to collapse? I think Uber is going to be in deep trouble by the end of this decade for sure. 100%.
Oh wow, you're
100%.
far more optimistic than I am.
I think so. Because you only, again, Uber has 1 million active drivers in the United
Okay,
States.
well that's where I'm going. Okay, two things. One, if we're right, then Bill Aikman's wrong, and I would hate to bet against him.
Sure.
So he's heavily invested in Uber.
He is.
And
And I
I
told
don't-
him not to be, by the way.
Oh, did
I
you?
replied to his post.
I texted him. I'm like, Robotaxi. I think I sent him your video. Too.
What is his justification for
Fuck
Uber?
if I know.
Okay.
But he must know something that we don't know.
So the
So
only
what does
thing,
he know that we don't know?
So I've tried to think about that, right? So the only way for Uber to stay competitive is to have their own self-driving network, right? Because with a human driver, it's going to be uncompetitive because the cost of a self-driving car is going to be way lower to operate than a human driver. So given that, if a self-driving car was available versus a human-driven one, over time, everybody would choose the self-driving car because it's private, cheaper,
Sure, no,
safer.
there's no question.
Right? Okay, no question, right? So the only way for Uber to compete is to have their own driverless network. The only other competitor that Tesla has from a self-driving perspective that is anywhere close to Tesla's scale can make a maximum, in the best case scenario, 10,000 cars per year. Maximum. Absolute Zeekr. The company's name is Zeekr, which is partnered with Waymo.
Okay, so what does Bill Ackman know that we don't know?
That's been the thing that I've been racking my brain on. I don't know.
Why would he? You don't think it's like a false flag? You don't think he's just like?
I don't understand. I like to think that I'm really dumb, honestly, and I always try to plug holes in my own thesis all the time. I'm literally where you at, which is like, there is very smart people out there that don't see this. So am I losing my mind? And then anytime I do the work to ensure that I'm not losing my mind, I come back to the same exact landing point, which is no, I'm right. I'm right, I think, right? Not investment, financial advice. It feels like I'm right. And so every single day I test that thesis and I'm like, okay, what am I missing today? What am I missing today? And each time it's like, no, it's impossible. It's impossible. The only way Uber survives is if they become the fleet runner for Tesla. But at that point, they're just an extension of Tesla. Tesla just buys them and just makes them their fleet provider.
Well, that's the other thing I was
Right?
thinking as well. Okay, so I want
But that's just Tesla at that
I
point.
want to linger with you on one thing you
Yeah.
said because I've been thinking about it a lot, and I also, I quote unquote make a living out of asking people how they could be wrong.
Yeah, for
about
sure.
things.
Yeah.
And so one of the things that I've been thinking about a lot is let's just accept by fiat the argument that you and I are correct.
Yeah.
Maybe we may disagree on the timeline. I would probably defer to you, frankly.
Sure.
If you think it's going to be 10 years. You're talking about a major disruption of
Yes.
1 million people in
Yes.
employment.
Massive.
This is a massive disruption.
Massive.
Nobody's talking about it.
Correct.
Nobody's thinking about it.
Yes.
Okay, so we're on agreement
100%
in that.
agreed. I think
Why
our
are
societies,
people- yeah.
they're ill-equipped. Well, so when is the last time that a government was able to proactively solve for a disruption to the economy?
I don't. You need an economic historian for that. I'm trying to think. I can't.
Never.
I'm just thinking.
That's
like,
why crashes happen. That's why disruptions happen, is because societies aren't able to absorb the disruption. That's how they happen. They come and then people are like, oh shit, we gotta do something else. And then there's a period of readjustment and then we come out on the other side.
I'd like to add something, and please,
Yeah.
if this is not great. I think it's not only that, we could never have predicted this. We could never have seen this coming.
Yeah, it's coming fast.
No, but I think that's their excuse. And I think
of course.
I think it's their excuse because this is perhaps a little extra topical, but the process in Western democratic societies to elect leaders is not the same as, it doesn't select for those skills to make them
Correct.
become good leaders.
Yes.
And so I think that we have a disjoint there, the delta between the change and difference. So I think that, I think that we see that in energy policy.
Yep.
This is just parenthetical, but did you know how, with very few exceptions, and one being China, you know how ambassadors are appointed in this country?
How?
Political favors.
Not surprised.
You can be an ambassador to like.
Shocking.
You can be an ambassador to like Poland or something and not
Yeah.
even speak Polish.
Wow.
That like completely blows my mind.
Yeah, I'm not surprised by that at all.
But anyway,
Yeah.
but so I think it's
Can I throw you another one in there
Yeah.
too? So in Congress, right? There's no term limits. So what does that mean? Everybody in Congress right now, in Senate and the House, right? So there's no term limit. So what does that mean? Half the time they're running for re-election. So how much time are they really spending thinking about how to create policy to make this country better? They're spending basically half of their time at least trying to get into power the next year. So you think about the total hours they have to think about the future of the country. Every forcing function is forcing them to only look 2 to maximum 4 years out. And stuff like this takes decades potentially to happen. But sometimes it happens so quickly, so it's like, I don't think our policymakers are actually fit to plan for the future properly just because of how Congress is set up. If we have no term limits and it was just you get in and you do your job and get out, and maybe we extend it to say 4 years and 8 years respectively, maybe that gives them more time to do it. But that's just another thing I've been thinking about a lot. Anyway, that's a tangent.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'm flooded with thoughts here. So we've talked a little bit about, very little bit about robo-taxis, about employment, unemployment,
Yeah.
about Uber, about Tesla. We haven't talked at all about robotics and robots and
Yeah.
the disruption. You're comfortable telling
Yeah,
me
100%.
and tell me specifically, like, what are your predictions, your 5-year predictions?
Yeah, so from my standpoint, with humanoid robots, what Tesla has done is the same stack that they're using to teach their cars how to drive, they're going to use the same stack. They're going to use the same exact technology to teach the humanoid robot how to work. So it's basically going to be a camera system with an AI chip on board, and they're going to train the robot how to do movements using video. It's very similar to how the car has learned how to drive, but instead of going forwards, backwards, left, and right, they have to teach the robot how to manipulate using their arms, their legs, so on and so forth. So that's what they're going to be working on next.
Okay, so I've seen Amazon's factories.
Yeah.
And it's like, holy
Incredible.
shit, you know, those little things.
Incredible.
And then I've seen a couple videos, not much, of Tesla's factory, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Do you see that technology being, I don't know, ubiquitous might be too strong, but like, what kind of penetration do you see?
Huge.
I'm only talking 5
Oh,
years.
5 years? I think in the next 5 years, it'll be done. So humanoid robots are going to be very useful in work environments where the jobs are repetitive. So pick thing up, put it down, move thing from point A to point B, do repetitive motion that's easy to train.
What about
over
like
and
make
over again.
barbecue, like over
It'll
there?
take time. Yeah, making barbecue is going to take probably a little bit more than 5 years, but like I said, like maybe 10 years. No more than the end of the next decade, like by 2040. By 2040, we're going to have companies that are making.
I'll be dead.
I hope not.
No, I'll be dead.
I think by the end of next decade, we'll have more than one company for sure making millions of humanoid robots per year. And these humanoid robots are going to get better over time because their ability to do things is not necessarily a function of the hardware, it's a function of the software. So
Okay, so let me ask a question. If you're not
Yeah.
comfortable, if you think this is too far afield from your area of expertise, tell me.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm thinking out loud here, but it's something I've been thinking about for a while. So
Yeah.
we've gone fucking bananas printing money.
Yes.
Like we've gone crazy.
Yes.
We're literally gonna get what we deserve.
Yes.
And this is also impossible for people to comprehend.
Yes.
This is such a catastrophe. Okay, so one would think that this would lead to an inflationary cycle, and in normal times, it would be obvious. However, do you see the wide-scale, almost ubiquitous introduction of robotics causing a deflationary cycle that's sufficient to offset the deranged bananas money printing we've done?
I mean, it has to. It has to, right? If you really think about the cost of a humanoid robot at scale, it's probably going to be anywhere between 25 to 50,000 per unit, but that's a one-time cost, right? And then as it gets more and more intelligent and learns how to do more and more tasks, it's going to get to a point where it's going to operate
Fix
somewhere,
itself, maybe?
potentially. But I think that the key takeaway there is that over time, the humanoid robot cost per hour to operate, it's going to be sub $5 per hour. It's going to be closer to $3 per hour.
Okay, so that's two things. So would that be sufficient at scale to offset the deranged money printing we've gone through?
If we don't view that as a way to print more money,
Okay,
I don't know what
you've
the
given
future
me
pil-
pessimism.
yeah.
Okay, I guess
it's hard for me to tell.
Yeah, I guess
Yeah.
my second question is, if that offsets some of the craze money printing,
Yeah.
and we've seen the robo-taxis and the Uber and Lyft people unemployed, you said 1 million, and we've seen repetitive tax with people. I don't know the figures, obviously, I'm not a labor economist, but I would say at least 2 to 3 million minimum.
Yeah.
So
Probably
you-
more.
Yeah, and then we've seen, I don't want to say the death of the laptop class, but certainly close to it.
Yeah.
The creative class is fucked. The Hollywood is fucked. You know, so we're really looking at, and again, please push back.
Yeah,
if I'm
yeah,
not
yeah, I
right.
know. I agree with everything you're saying so far.
Okay, so then we're really seeing wide-scale unemployment. I mean,
Yes.
like mass unemployment.
The way I view this coming disruption is that I think the next 5 to 20 years are going to be extremely rocky, extremely disruptive. It's going to cause a lot of people to lose their jobs because they're going to be literally uncompetitive with with the alternative, which is going to be able to do that same exact job for a fraction of the cost better all the time without having to sleep, right?
Okay, so you do predict that there is going to be wide-scale unemployment. Okay.
Yes.
Now, just
Yes.
as an aside, you
Yeah.
see these little things here?
I do.
You see that?
Yeah, the Lime thing.
Yeah. So I believe that's owned by Uber. I believe.
Uber runs it on their network, I believe. I think Lime owns it, and then Lime rents it out to Uber for Uber to run on their network.
Okay, so everywhere I go in the world, I see those things.
Yeah.
I have an idea how to make them more profitable. If anybody's interested in watching it, let me know.
Let me check on the robotaxi, see where it's at.
Okay.
3 minutes away.
Okay. So here's my question to you. So when
Yeah.
I learned that they run on the network, and I learned their affiliates with Uber, I thought, okay, maybe that's what Bill Ackman knows. Maybe there's some kind of I'm hearkening back to what we said before.
Yeah.
But the other thing is, I remember when the IT, the little thing you stand on, I remember when that came out and all the tech moguls were saying, oh, it's going to change how cities are built and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And it didn't, and it was overhyped.
Yeah.
So I guess I want to connect a bunch of thoughts together here.
Yeah.
One of those thoughts is, I'm sure someone going to be listening to this and they'll be like, man,
These guys are fucking crazy.
yeah, they're crazy. They're overhyping it. I mean, there's a Waymo there.
Yeah.
There's another
Great
Waymo.
product, by the way. I will say Waymo is better than an Uber, for sure.
But it's
100%.
nowhere near as good as Tesla.
No, because they only make 1,500 of them per year.
I want to go back to what I was just saying, but
Yeah.
if they made at scale to Tesla, you think they would challenge Tesla?
I mean, if that's the biggest if of all time. That's why the Tesla thesis has such a huge advantage. It's because they figured out how to do what Waymo does at scale. Scale is the solution here. It's not so much the technology, it's the scale. There's this thing Elon Musk has a very famous saying. He says, prototypes are easy, production is hard. Waymo is kind of a very successful,
There's another Waymo
awesome,
right there.
yeah. It's an awesome prototype. I mean, it is fantastic. I would recommend while you guys are here, take a Waymo ride. It's
I did.
cool.
It's choppy.
But it's choppier than a robotaxi. It is. It is choppier. But why is that? It's because the technology they're using to drive the
There's
car.
a deranged homeless man.
The technology that Waymo uses a lot more human code than the solution that Tesla uses, which is all artificial intelligence. And it's only one set of sensors, whereas Waymo has to use a ton of different sensors to make the car do the thing that it needs to do.
Yeah, and I know this is cheesy, but it doesn't really look good, and
It doesn't. Yeah, but it's hard to build, and being hard to build makes it tough to scale. And if it's tough to scale, if you're competing with somebody who can scale, the person who scales is going to have it at a lower cost because they have a bigger scale, and they're going to have more of them.
If you could tell people in the government, like if you had Trump or I don't know, I have to think about it, but what would you tell them about what's going to come in 5 years and what they can do now to really get their shit together?
I would tell them that the number of people that are going to lose their job because of artificial intelligence is going to be significantly more than they think. And that's not just going to happen on the laptop side, it's going to happen in the physical side. And what I would tell them...
Interesting. What do you mean by physical?
Like humanoid robots, self-driving cars, right?
The physical, okay,
the physical world is getting disrupted as well. And so they need to be aware that there's going to be millions of people that are going to look at tech companies that are building incredible technology and they're going to say, they put me out of the job. What are you going to do about that? That's coming. That's coming.
I'm trying not to make this political.
Sure.
I'm really trying to make it not political, but
Yeah.
I'm struggling both on the left and on the right.
It requires a political conversation.
It does require.
Yeah.
Do you think that the Trump administration is ready for this? Do you see them making any inroads? Are they having an honest conversation about? I know they're not doing it about energy.
Yeah. My biggest fear with the Trump administration is that they are going too balls to the wall with the advancements of artificial intelligence without properly accounting the disruptions that are sure to come. And disruption is going to come to the labor force. I think the Trump administration is going really hard in solving for the growth in artificial intelligence. And that because they're going so hard with the growth of artificial intelligence that they're going to completely miss out on the disruption side. But the problem is the disruption side, what it means is that people are going to lose their jobs. And the default solution that they're going to go for, my guess, is going to be some form of UBI, some form of universal basic income. But we've already printed so much money.
I know, it's totally insane.
This is my concern.
I know.
This is like this is where, and this is the discussion of our times, is that we have an artificial intelligence technology that will create incredible things for humans to use, but the humans that are going to use them those jobs that those robots are going to do were done by humans. So what are those humans going to do that were doing those jobs for other humans, right? So is it going to be a situation where the haves are going to have more and the have-nots are going to have less? And if you have a widening wealth gap because of the disruption, you're going to have societal chaos.
Okay, and so we're not talking about it. We're not having an honest conversation. We're not having any real substantive conversation about almost any of it. I want to come back to something that I've been obsessed with for, I don't know, years and years, and that is, I hinted at it a little bit, but energy.
Yeah.
Where's all the power we're going to come from?
Yeah.
We fucked that up pretty good.
We sure did.
The energy secretary isn't really doing anything about it.
Doesn't seem like it. It seems like we're going backwards. What I didn't understand was their policy and slowing down solar on purpose so they're adding incentives for fossil fuels, but they're removing incentives for solar, which long-term solar is the thing that's going to make you truly energy independent.
Right.
Like, why are you slowing that down?
I know. I have an answer for you. I actually know
Lobbyists?
that. No. Well, I've become friends with Jesse Pelton, the kind of consigliere.
Oh, I do know who he is. He lives here in Austin.
Yeah, he's
I know
awesome,
exactly.
dude.
Like, the name is so familiar.
Yeah, we just went to jiu-jitsu last night.
Oh, shit, okay.
Tonight together.
Yeah.
But anyway, and then we had dinner a few times. Dude, that guy is like, holy shit.
He's an energy beast.
Like,
yeah.
Oh my God, how the fuck did somebody gain all that knowledge at that age?
Autism.
Like, yeah, I was gonna say that. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
No, I mean, it's truly crazy. But he said his answer was because we have such a horrific dynamic in this country that if the left says something, the right has to be against it. And if the right says something, the left just de facto. So one of his theses was that because the left was pro-solar, the right's like, well, fuck this.
That's crazy.
It's anti-American. It's
so
totally
crazy.
insane.
It's so crazy.
So
makes no sense.
Yeah.
Like, if you really think about and what the thing that shocks me about the solar discussion is that I would have thought it would be a purely conservative talking point, because what you're doing is you're solidifying the national security of the country long term by making yourself totally energy independent.
Yeah, right.
How is that not the most conservative?
I know, that's
point of all
exactly
time?
what Jesse said.
Yeah.
He said, like, this is a conservative, this is conservative.
Yeah.
But again, we have a kind of knee-jerk absolutism, particularly, on the right and on the left, but it's a weird thing on the right because, I don't know. But okay, so anyway,
that's why I hate the two-party system personally. But
I'm concerned, dude, the list of my concerns that bleed into worry is almost infinite, but among the things, I'm concerned about energy production. I'm concerned about the energy production for the Teslas, for the robots. Less so for the robots because I think they're more like. How is Musk going to deal with this problem? You could have you want to produce 1 million cars? Great.
Yeah.
How are you going to power those cars?
Yeah, 100%. So what's fascinating is there's been studies done by this. I can't remember if Jesse did one of these or it was somebody else. But if you were to use battery storage to store the surplus energy from the grid, it would instantly double.
Yeah, he said that. Yep.
Double. That just by adding energy to the current grid, we would get double the amount of power that we can generate every single day. That in itself is a 100% increase. And then what you can do additionally is you grow your existing asset base of energy production. You do more fossil fuels, but you also do more nuclear. Way more nuclear, way more solar, way more geothermal, way more hydro.
The problem with nuclear is you're talking about
7 year.
The absolute minimum of I mean, that would be a miracle.
Times. Yeah.
Okay, so we're in agreement that that's another problem. Are we in agreement that that's another problem that we should be talking about more that we're not?
It is, but I do think my personal opinion is the demand for energy is going to be so great that the market will respond. I think the energy problem is a market, my opinion, because it's going to be so absolutely insanely large, the demand for it, there's going to be so much money to be made, that the market's going to be like, okay, I guess we'll have to keep up. It will slow us down. The bigger problem is our relative growth in energy versus China.
Oh,
That's the bigger
Jesse
discussion.
talked about that
That's
too.
the bigger
yeah.
discussion. Yeah.
So, oh, that's cool. Is that the Capitol over there?
That's it. Yeah. Yeah, the Capitol building. Yeah, beautiful. It's so cool driving up Congress, right up Congress, and you can see the Capitol building right in front of you, all the way from South Congress. You can see it get bigger and bigger. It's one of the coolest drives. Yeah.
Okay, so we've talked a little bit about robotics. We've talked a little bit about energy. We've talked a little bit about robo-taxis.
Yeah.
We've talked about the thing that interests me is the short-term stuff, like the 5-year stuff. And, you know, I would love it if policymakers watched this and said, well, geez, you know, maybe we should think about, my job isn't to tell them what to think about or what policies, but that...
Yeah, here are the problems that we
Yeah,
have.
here are the problems. And let's, you know, democracy is messy and the system is, by definition, politicized, but we should be talking, but, you know, that's the other problem. We're not talking about half the stuff we should be talking about, and that's one of the reasons we got in the mess.
Yeah.
We did, especially since we have so many crazy people on the fringes. Okay. Who have they've really hijacked the discourse.
Yeah, they have. They
okay.
really have.
So, so what else is on our agenda to talk about? Because I have a few more things, but tell me what you're thinking about.
Yeah, I mean, I think we definitely hit the transportation stuff very well. I mean, we've been taking robotaxis this whole time to kind of prove out the point that this is happening. It's 100% happening. The human or robot piece is this is going to take a little bit longer, but from my perspective, the bot piece is going to have a much bigger impact than the car piece. So transportation is about a $4 trillion per year total addressable market globally. Human physical labor is 40 trillion.
Oh,
it's 10 times bigger. So whatever disruption you thought the cars were going to do, the human or robot's going to do 10 times at least.
Okay.
Just from a market perspective.
All right. So I want to rewind the tape a little bit. So I think it was you who tweeted out, or someone tweeted out, the cost in Austin of an Uber, a Lyft, a Waymo, and a robotaxi.
It was a study that was done. I tweeted out the study, but it was a study in San Francisco in the Waymo geofence. They looked at the adoption of Waymo versus Uber versus Lyft. Even though Waymo was 30% more expensive, it was taking market share from both Uber and Lyft because the riders that chose Waymo would always choose Waymo because it's just a better product. And that's Waymo.
That's not the one I was referring to.
Okay.
I think I saw that, but I read so much stuff. But so, okay, so let's say, so where are we going today?
We're going to University of Texas. We're going to Darrell K. Royal, Texas Memorial Stadium. We're going to go check out the Longhorns football team.
Okay, so, oh my God,
that
sounds truly like hell to me. But okay, so.
Welcome.
Okay, so what I want to do when we go back is the robo-taxi ride, how much was this, if you don't mind?
This was $3.
$3.
$3 and like 30 some odd cents.
And is that would that be the price at cost if these were produced at scale?
So that's about $1.10 per mile or something like that.
Okay, that's a good way to think about it.
But the cost to operate this, so once the safety rider is out of the car and Tesla's operating it at human safety level, this will be about 50 to 60 cents per mile cost.
50 to 60 cents a mile. Okay, so how much is an Uber or a Lyft?
For the same exact ride, probably like $20.
And how much is it for Tesla?
$3. I know, it's crazy. I know.
But yet I think, I guess frustrated, like, I get frustrated, like, people can't understand the difference between illegal migration and legal migration.
I know.
People can't understand the difference between, like, liberal and left. They can't, I mean, if they can't understand, like, and what is it, 40% of Americans think the sun revolves around the earth. I think that's the statistic.
That's
so how is it that they're going to explain understand the Great Disruption or that? We're hopeless. And look at these people we've elected. I mean, it's just disgraceful. Okay, so anyway, again, maybe the title of this episode should be The Great Disruption because I keep coming back to that economic disruption.
It's factual. I mean, it's literally happening. Yeah. Like literally, like we're sitting in it.
We're sitting in the Great Disruption.
Yeah.
Okay, so because it's not only going to be that, it's with truck drivers too, right?
100%.
Isn't Tesla producing?
Yep.
How many truck drivers are there? I have no idea.
Don't quote me on this, but I want to say it's close to 3 million in the United States.
Oh my God, I was going to say like 900,000, but okay.
I could be wrong.
I was way off. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, well then they're done.
It's
They're
one of the
toast.
biggest. It's one of the biggest employers of people in the United States is truck driving.
Okay, so
Yeah,
they're toast.
Logistics. They're going to be. It's going to take longer for the semis to get to the safety level necessary to get approved on the roads, but that's coming. And so basically, what that's going to do, it's going to make it about the cost of rail to use a semi truck. And the cost of rail is the cheapest cost per mile that you can use to transport goods.
So that's a deflationary driver.
All of this is deflationary. This is deflationary. You
Okay,
know?
so again, if it's deflationary, does that offset our deranged money printing habits?
The way I view the money print, and I'm not an expert in this, but
No,
the way
neither am I.
the way I view it is that the money printer is not really directly tied to market dynamics. It's who is in government and what do they want to do.
Well, my thinking of what they want to do is they want to make paying off our loans cheaper to make them worth less.
Sure.
So, but my other thinking is it's just grotesque fiscal irresponsibility and selling out your children for your immediate ends. But we'll bracket those.
You will have
malign.
you're going to have the deflationary impact from this technology, but on the flip side, what you're going to have, again, is if you have labor disruption that's too great and too fast, you're going to have a political party that's going to say, I will take care of you by giving you UBI. They're going to get in power, and then they're not really going to have a plan to fund the UBI. They're just going to print the money. Everyone's going to get checks.
So
it's like,
I supported Andrew Yang a few years ago. He's a buddy of mine, but that's not why. I didn't know him at the time. I supported him, but I really was into this concept of UBI, and I read about it, and I'm glad he put it on the table. I'm wondering if that's not inevitable because of these technological changes. I mean, almost how
you almost
could it
have
not
to do
be?
it. You almost have to do it.
It's like, do you ever watch Star Trek?
I've never watched Star Trek.
You're dead to me.
No, I'm sorry.
Anyway, no, you're fine. But anyway, there's a. Do we know?
Can I make it worse? Actually, I've never watched Star Wars either.
No, I hate that's
Okay.
no.
All right.
You're truly that's a good thing.
Okay, that's redeeming.
While you do not know anything about science, which is
right.
fine, which is surprising given that this is what you do.
Yeah,
The
I know,
whole thing
I
is
know.
kind of sci-fi.
Yeah.
But it's like this line in a Star Trek movie, The Next Generation, where this woman says, the people of the future, they basically get everything provided for, and if they want to do anything above and beyond that, then they're free to do that.
Yeah.
And there is something that I see with these technologies, and I could be completely wrong about this, because maybe we'd see new industries emerge.
Yeah.
I can't remember who said it, but the future is notoriously difficult to predict.
Yes.
So there could be something that I cannot fathom by definition.
Yeah.
It's like the unknown, to borrow a term or phrase.
Yeah.
But I do see it pushing us toward UBI.
I think so too. It has to. I think it has to. It's almost like, I think it's unreasonable to think that everybody who's going to be displaced by artificial intelligence in the next 10 to 20 years is suddenly going to be like, okay, I'm going to do this now instead. And I'm going to use the AI economy to plug into it and start making money and do things to bring value to society. When the entire society, when the robots can do what you can do better, faster, cheaper than you, we need a new economy. And that new economy is going to take a long time to settle in.
So I'm thinking about like what jobs would be safe. Again, that's why I said vocations.
I have a big thesis about this actually.
Please.
Yeah, human to human interaction.
Well, I was thinking prostitution is top of the list.
It's going to be gigantic.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's going to be gigantic. Yeah. I think it's almost like, I wonder if like, I don't know if I'm super not well versed in Japan at all, but one of the things that I always think about is like, I feel like Japan's culture and society seems to be like a slightly more advanced version of where we would be once we adopt AI. It's going to look something kind of similar.
Oh my
to
God!
that.
You mean like Japan is like it's like Rivendell.
Maybe.
It's so hyper civilized.
But it's also extremely controlled. There's a lot of
Yeah.
social norms. Like you can't really step out of line because it's very quick to get shunned by society.
That's funny
right?
because my hypothesis would lead me to conclude exactly the opposite.
Okay.
When you have UBI, that gives you more degrees of freedom, not fewer degrees of freedom.
I think if you have more, I would love to hear. This is where I think your brain is significantly better than mine.
I doubt that.
in this. I really think so. So if we have more degrees of freedom, aren't we just going to go to the dopamine button all the time?
Yeah, I mean there are kind of mimetic transmissions of ideas and fashion. And I think I never think about fashion, but I think fashion would be one way. People would need means of expression. So let me change the subject just a little bit.
Sorry.
No,
we
no,
don't
no,
have to
no.
go there. Yeah.
No. Let me change the subject just a little bit.
Yeah.
No, nothing to be sorry about.
Yeah.
But I think this is a way to think about the question. So I've been thinking about a lot. I do think that the dollar's collapsing. I see it in real time. Things like water treatment, sewage treatment, hard assets, real estate, land. The economy is just in such crazy flux. There are so many variables, and so I wonder if, how do we? Oh, is this where we're getting off?
Yeah,
this is where we're
getting off right here.
How do we protect ourselves economically if our provisional thesis of UBI coming in is correct? Are we going to see certain people with legacy assets, real estate, land? Because we know that money will be worth less.
Right.
So I don't know the answer to that question, but here we are.
I don't know the answer either. And this is like what I've been spending so much of my time on, is trying to understand what the likeliest outcome is.
Thanks a lot, man. You did an awesome job.
You did great.
Today.
You got us there safely.
We're really impressed by your
great driving.
You did, dude. You're just need a raise.
Elite. Thank you.
Need a raise, bro.
So they just released their new version 2 days ago, FSD V14, with this robotaxi thing. There's a clip, this guy named Chris, Dirty Tesla. That's the channel name.
Dirty Tesla.
Dirty Tesla. A really, really good channel. It's a super sober look at self-driving tech for Tesla. Like, he calls everything, he calls the balls, he calls the strikes, everything. He's like super fair about the technology. But yesterday he took his car through a Wendy's drive-thru. I think it was Wendy's, a drive-thru. The car on self-driving automatically stopped at the ordering kiosk. And then when he was done ordering, automatically went to the window and waited until he got his card and got his food, and then automatically left the window.
Oh my gosh, I didn't roll up the window or anything. How does it know?
I don't even see how that's possible.
The cameras and the microphone, probably. Because it has cameras on the side. Again, so this is the artificial intelligence piece. The artificial intelligence piece knows how to interpret the real world. You don't have to give it rules. It just observes how humans behave, and it does what humans do. It does do. What's the grammar?
But if it makes, let's say it makes a mistake.
Yeah.
And it stops at maybe there are two windows and it doesn't know. Sometimes you go to the two windows.
It should be able to see the second window with the front camera.
But can you say to it that window's closed, go to the other window?
You could probably talk to it at some point in the future.
So,
Yeah.
Okay, so
Not in the current
when you
version.
sit in a Tesla robotaxi, is it recording everything you say?
In the current robotaxis right now, they have the camera and the microphone on for the internal stuff. Yeah, they have both on.
So they could take your conversations. Maybe you have a spicy
Raunchy.
conversation with your wife, and I was gonna make a joke about Reed, but I won't.
That's privacy
And
with
what
this AI stuff is a big.
Yeah, so
big
that's
one.
what I was gonna say.
Yeah,
Like, what if they
for
just
sure.
were like, well, we're gonna, Farzad, what a douche. He said
Yeah.
something negative about Tesla. We're
Yeah.
gonna release his spicy conversation with his
Yeah,
wife.
I mean, Apple could do the same thing with your entire life on your phone.
I use Signal for everything.
Okay, what about like your other apps on the App Store?
Oh, you mean do I have other apps on the phone that hack into
or
Signal?
Or Signal. Like, is Signal really unhackable?
As far as I know, it is.
Right.
But I could be totally wrong. I'm not an expert in digital privacy.
That's
I
the
don't
same.
know.
That's the same sort of approach I take with Tesla. Is like any company is subject to hacking. Any company is subject to leaks.
That's the other thing I was going to ask
Yeah.
you. So if you were a foreign intelligence, wouldn't that be your first order of business is to disrupt Tesla?
It's a risk for sure. You're a smart one, yeah, for sure. If you're a smart one.
Maybe we should edit that out. But,
I'm sure they've thought. I mean, come on, this is like for anybody who spends half a second researching this. That's the conclusion. If they're really malicious, they'll be like, yeah, of course, attack the company with all the self-driving cars. Duh, obviously, it's so obvious.
Yeah. Oh, is this our robotaxi?
That's our robotaxi. Oh, it's stopping over there. Okay, let's go over there. All right. Oh, he's back.
Oh my God, it's the same
He's
dude.
back.
Look at that.
The best driver in the world.
Reed, it's the same guy. He
The
did an
best driver in
awesome
the
job
world is
last
back.
time.
He's back.
Oh my God, this
Taking
is
us
like
back.
unbelievable.
The promised land.
This is incredible. You did such a good job.
I mean, that's a very serious discussion that needs to be had, and anybody over time. I mean, it's not even just reserved for Tesla. Honestly, it's really It's going to be any AI technology, OpenAI, Grok, Claude, Anthropic, like.
Yeah, I worry about those a little less.
Yeah. So, but I mean, this is why I think humanoid robots long term are the only. So you're not going to be able to buy Chinese humanoid robot in America because of that. Because I buy a Chinese robot, I put it in my house, and then the Chinese government is like, oh, maybe I'll kill his son. I'm not going to trust another country to put a fully autonomous robot in my house.
Didn't they discover all those shutdown and solar panels?
Yeah, there was something like they hacked some sort of terminal or something. I think it was with that.
Yeah, I don't know. That's the other thing. We're just not.
I mean, that's the biggest risk with technology. Yeah,
I've just been so I don't know. Maybe this is far afield from our conversation, but it just feels to me like we have just failed to educate our citizenry. I mean, we have just failed at we've just focused on the wrong things. We've focused on self-esteem. I mean, that's just an ideology. It was a fad. We're focused on diversity. We're just not.
Yeah.
And I tell you, a theme in my, if I may.
Yeah, please.
A theme in my intellectual life has been very recently that people just get what they fucking deserve, man. If you're smoking 10 packs a day and you get cancer, like you're letting in millions of unskilled Muslim men from illiberal societies, and only males, young males, a certain age, you're just gonna get what you deserve.
Yeah.
And there are a bunch of people gonna say, oh, that's racist. Islam isn't a race, but it's not even about that. It's just like there's a kind of perfect reciprocity.
It's just cause and effect.
Yeah, that's all it is. So if you want to keep not educating people or indoctrinating in some ideology, and your society fails as a consequence, then it wasn't good enough in the first place.
Yeah.
Like, I feel that way about Western democratic institutions. I mean, we already have a legitimacy crisis in which people don't trust their institutions. And again, for the millionth fucking time, they don't trust their institutions because their institutions are untrustworthy.
Yeah.
And I mean, there are many solutions. We're in Austin. I'm in Austin, actually, for the University of Austin. We're trying to build new things. We're trying to offer solutions people can trust.
Heck yeah.
But I'm still, I don't know, man. I've just been. We just have failed wholesale our citizenry, our students.
Yeah.
We've just spent so much time, and this is the last thing I'm saying about it. We've focused on the wrong things. We've been our moral triage, our educational triage has been off, and we've talked about everything except what we should be talking about.
Yeah.
This Platonic notion of educare, to lead out of ignorance. Anyway, okay.
Yeah.
So
no, I agree with you. I do think that, I mean, you're a lot more knowledgeable about this stuff than I am, but like the observation I've made is that it seems like we live in a country of a lot of soft people and a lot of soft thinking and not enough risk taking and not enough celebration of doing hard things that make life better. That's what it seems like.
Jiu-jitsu is hard.
Yes.
We live with weak. We live with weak men. They're just weak men. Reed and I were in New York, and there was this maybe young kids, maybe 6 or 8 kids. I say young, and they're maybe 25, 28, and they're at this table, and they were drinking, and they were rowdy, and I almost said something to them. They got kicked out, but again, my red line was if they started harassing the waitress.
Sure.
They kicked them out, and then they were in the street, and then some deranged woman came and beat the shit out of. I mean, she was truly crazy, and the kids just stood there. They didn't know how to fight back. They beat up the kid's girlfriend. She was
no way.
Yeah, totally.
Whoa.
Yeah. But it is funny. I do see a kind of endemic weakness in the society, and I don't know. It just seems to me the older I get, our problems seem to be, some of them are just completely idiotic.
Yeah.
But I'll just say this because it's on my mind. I've been really thinking about this whole trans issue. It's probably far afield from what you do. And
sure.
Dude, there's just no evidence for it. It's the whole thing. To say it's a house of cards wouldn't even be accurate because cards are real things that you can stack up. The whole thing is made up. It's completely fictitious.
So there's zero scientific evidence.
It's these people called WPATH who are activists. Not only is there no scientific evidence for it, but all of the evidence is against it. But my point is, all of the major medical institutions, anytime you say this shit, people think, oh my God, it's got to be a conspiracy. As again, for the millionth time, it's so crazy that no one believes that people actually believe this. If it were less crazy, Helen Joyce has made this point. She moves into space. If it were less crazy, people would say, "Oh my God, holy shit, that's fucking insane. We gotta stop this." But it's just so
It's
crazy.
so crazy. It's unbelievable.
It's just so crazy.
Yeah, it's kind of like Robotaxi.
Well, that's the parallel that I was making.
Robotaxi, same
thing.
thing.
I was making I was going to make that parallel from the Great Disruption.
Yeah.
Is so.
Yeah.
It just I know people watching this and they'll be like, these guys are like conspiracy theorists. I mean, you must get that.
Of course, yeah. I mean, you should see the comments, like the comments on my videos.
Yeah, what
You know,
are
because
they?
it's like, oh, like you're a Musk, you know, you're gargling his balls 24/7. You're popping up the stock, you know, you're riding his dick, all this stuff, blah blah blah. And I'm like, bro, I'm just really fascinated about the technology, and it seems very obvious.
The only guy riding his dick is this guy in the front seat. That's the only guy gargling on his balls right there.
Oh man. Oh boy. Elon, don't sue us, okay? Please be nice.
Oh, let's see how it does with this woman here.
Yeah, it's stopping at the sidewalk.
Look at that.
Yeah, and that guy, you saw that? That guy.
Yeah, that guy didn't see her.
Yeah, see that?
Yeah, that guy didn't see her, but the robotaxi saw her. So that was
Exactly.
interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah, but it is. I think there's a lot of parallels there. I mean, I do think that, you know, there is a lack of, I don't know, and like if you layer on top of that our current social media age and our just how little effort people put to actually study hard things that are happening in the world.
Totally.
It's like it's seriously lacking because there's so many different distractions.
Okay.
You know?
So let's say, so I'm going to give them a pass. So
Okay.
here's what I say.
They want to set up for success.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's no way anybody can know about anything, but my solution to that would be, okay, so just know about things you can know, and if someone says something you can't know, just say, I don't know.
Yeah.
You don't have to have an opinion about everything.
Yeah, I
In
agree.
fact, you're far better off if you say, I don't know.
Yeah.
But I think that we've looked at that as a weakness, or oh wow, there's a Cybertruck
Cybertruck right there, look at it.
Yeah, Reed has a Cybertruck.
Nice. I do too.
You do too.
Yeah, we'll probably see it on the street. Actually, no, I parked a
What do you
little
do
bit
for
more
a
up.
living?
I do this YouTube thing.
You make a living from it?
Yeah, I know.
Holy
So
shit,
when I
that's
left
crazy.
when I left Tesla in 21, I left with a lot of financial stability and security, and I wanted to take some time to figure out, okay, like my wife and I, what are we gonna do? So we traveled for a bit, and then 5 weeks in, I'm so bored out of my mind. I'm like, I'm just gonna record videos for fun, and then 4 years later, it's like a business. It's a whole thing.
I can't believe
accidentally
you
just
make
fell
money. How
into
many
it.
subscribers do you have?
Between X and YouTube, 700,000, something like that. Yeah, YouTube 350, X is another
I
350.
think we have like 300 and something, and X we have like I don't
I think
even
two
know.
something on YouTube. Yeah.
I don't even know how many.
I've watched your
subscribers.
videos, by the way.
Do you like
like your
them?
work. Yeah, it's
no,
awesome.
be honest.
I swear to God.
Be honest.
I even showed my wife. I'm like, who's this Peter guy? I'm like this. Oh, that's the guy that asked the questions with the thing and the spectrum
You
and
like
stuff.
that?
Yeah,
What do you
it's
like
awesome.
about those videos?
I think it's just they ask really fundamental questions that people very rarely hear, and it's very fun listening through people's thought processes on how they
Yeah.
arrive to their conclusions.
See,
and you're not afraid
yeah.
to ask like very poignant questions that challenges people's like preconceived notions.
You know what's it's interesting to me. Is,
Good job, Peter.
Oh, thanks, bro. I appreciate that. Thank you. You know what's crazy to me is like as many questions as I've asked people all around the world. I mean, almost never does someone say, "I can't believe you've asked me." I don't even think maybe ever.
Really?
Like, yeah, I've asked people questions like, if you're on a desert island or something, and one of you is going to die, would you eat the other one for food? And they think about like almost never anyone's just like, "What are you talking about?" Now, there could be a selection bias in the people who come to answer be filmed.
Sure.
Anyway, but I think people really are hungry for. They're hungry.
Couldn't
They're
agree more.
not getting in the universities. They're
Yeah.
hungry for honest conversation. They're
Yeah.
hungry for questioning. I think that's why the podcast sphere has exploded.
Yeah.
That's why people have gone to Rogan and other places.
Yeah. Well, I think curiosity is a very human thing.
The Aristotle
You
talks
know?
about all people desire to know. We want to know, and the institute. Wow, is this where we're going?
Hey, dropping us off in the parking lot. All right, so contact support.
Okay, this is good.
This is.
Did you
very
put in the
good.
wrong, or did it take us to the wrong place?
We're about to find out.
All right.
Tech support, how can I help you?
Hey there. I don't know if I put in the wrong address, but I was trying to go to 522 Congress. It should be right at the intersection of 6th and Congress, and we're on 10th, like near 10th. Is there any way to route us there? I can give you the.
You said 522.
Yeah, 522 Congress Avenue. So I just did that. It says updating route to new details. It says start ride. I click start ride. Okay, sick.
Oh my God, dude, that was
Oh,
effortless.
can I give you some live feedback there? It would be a lot more intuitive if it told me straight up to enter a new address versus ending the trip. Just some feedback there. All right, thank you.
Thanks a lot, man.
Appreciate it. Thank you very much.
That was effortless.
There you go.
Effortless.
Is that
did
cool?
Did you find out? Did you put in the wrong address?
Yeah. So this is the crazy thing. There's a 522 North Congress, which is this, and there's a 522 Congress, which is.
I see.
I'm like, why? What? How am I supposed to know the difference?
You put it. So you put in the wrong address.
Yeah, I put in the wrong
and
address.
And then we fixed that.
We
okay,
fixed it.
that's
We figured it
interesting.
out. That was fun.
So it's interesting. So you're able to make a living.
I think it kind of goes to your point that there is a hunger for detailed knowledge. There is the Musk story by default is a very detailed story because it's at the surface level. People are like, it's electric vehicles. It's like, no, it's a way more than that. You know, and then you view the entire story arc of the individual. Then you look at the adjacent industries that are popping up because of it. How many new markets are okay? So the one thing I've been thinking about like crazy is what are the new markets that open up when going 10 miles is no more than $10. And then if you split the share with like three friends, it's like $2. Wow. Public events, live events are going to be gigantic. People are going to want to go out more because there's going to be a lot less friction to go places.
Yeah, Jesse was saying that the whole idea of a parking lot will be obsolete.
Cities are going to be completely rebuilt.
Yeah.
New cities are going to be built with the understanding that self-driving cars are going to be prevalent. So if that's the case, how do you optimize the layout? How do you optimize what you have in the city?
Yeah,
it completely changes everything.
God,
And then on top of that, you have human or robots walking around everywhere doing everything for you.
Yeah, so that to me means there needs to be some cybersecurities are like even more.
Yeah,
that's even
time.
more important that
Big time.
we have.
Big time, huge gap in our government right now for sure. I actually think places like Dubai are going to be really good proxies to understand how this AI stuff can be adopted because they have so much money. What's stopping them from just offering robotaxis and human or robots as a public service for its citizens and its tourists? They have so much money. And I think part of my gut tells me there's going to be some jurisdictions around the world that are going to do precisely that. They're going to offer it as a public good.
Wow, that's interesting.
Because it's the cost to operate is not that much. Really think about it. You know, if it's 40 cents a mile, Cybercab, that two-seater that Tesla's coming out with, is going to be like 25 cents a mile. It's going to be even cheaper. You know, a human or robot is going to be less than $3 an hour of labor.
So why is there a driver's seat right there?
Because this is the same exact car people can buy right now for $39,000 now.
Oh wow!
But they're coming out with a purpose-built Cybercab, which is a two-seater with no steering wheel and pedal. So 90% of rides by humans are two people or less. So Tesla's coming out with a purpose.
90% of ride two people.
Two people or less. So they're coming out with a purpose-built Cybercab that's going to be precisely fitted for most rides, and it's going to be two seats, no steering wheel, pedal. It's going to be much smaller, and the cost to operate that's going to be half of the Model Y.
Wow.
And they're going to be able to build them twice or three times more per year than the model. It's called the unbox process.
How is he able to produce so many cars?
I mean, they started building cars in like 2008 with the original Roadster. So this has been a project.
He must have massive
PTSD.
Well, no, you haven't. But I was going to say, he must have massive plants and massive
This is Mars Beta. Is the way I think about Musk Industries, it's Mars Beta. Musk Industries, Mars Beta, 100%. SpaceX, Tesla, Neuralink, Starlink, Boring Company, XAI, X, all these things. I truly believe that's my Cybertruck, by the way, the white one over there.
Oh wow, nice.
Yeah, that's the wrap. I really truly
believe. Did he give that to you? You bought it?
No, I bought it, of course. He doesn't give anybody shit. He makes everybody buy it full price. I feel very strongly that everything Elon Musk is working on is with the goal of building the building blocks for having a self-sustaining civilization on Mars.
Yeah, I saw some images. I think he might have even tweeted those images of these giant Tesla factories with robots everywhere walking around on Mars.
Yeah. I mean, the robots are going to be the ones doing all the labor on Mars. It's not going to be us. You're not going to be able to get enough people on Mars for the next 20, 40 years to build a self-sustaining civilization. Yeah. You need to have the robots. So the robots are really a play to colonize Mars, to get it ready for humans to go there. You know, the Teslas are perfect vehicles to go on terrestrial. Why? Because they don't need oxygen to operate. They're electric vehicles. And how do you power the electric vehicle?
God,
Solar energy.
Yeah, look at that.
You know?
That's so cool.
Isn't that cool? Sees everything.
That's so cool.
You power with solar energy. Mars gets solar energy. The batteries, you know, you can import it there with the SpaceX Starship that's going to bring a bunch of stuff to Mars, you know, and then you can build underground habitats with the Boring Company. The communication is going to be done through Starlink. People are going to communicate with each other with X, which is going to be powered by Grok.
Thank God for autism.
Isn't it great? Yeah.
It's like
You should buy Tylenol stock.
my buddy was telling me that, you know, he's writing this thing, but he's like, I'll never get it published, about the percentage of the entire economy that's driven by autists and the whole early adoption curve.
Yeah.
Okay, so is there anything that I should have asked you that I didn't ask you?
I think we covered a lot.
Yeah, man.
I think we covered a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, this conversation can be a 20-hour conversation because there's so many different ways we can go.
Well, I'm coming back to Austin in 2026, so get your jiu-jitsu up, and
All
we'll
right.
go to jiu-jitsu, and then you like barbecue?
I love barbecue.
God, dude, I
love
love
barbecue.
I'm a barbecue whore.
Next time you're in town, let me know because I'll take you to my favorite barbecue spot.
Which is where?
La Barbecue.
Oh, what's your favorite spot?
La Barbecue.
La Barbecue,
La Barbecue.
really?
Have you been?
No, but I love barbecue as much as this dude loves gurgling musk balls.
Oh, man. I
dude.
love it.
Have a good one,
All right,
man.
have a good one. That guy's probably, these fucking guys are
he kept
crazy.
laughing.
Yeah.
But he was turning away. He didn't want us to see us laughing.
That's so funny.
So he just fucking, dude, he just sits in that car the
Yeah,
whole
they just
time.
watch it. They just watch it, yeah. And you know what's going to be interesting? I'm curious to see if it's going to back up because it's like the valet thing is right here. So I'm actually curious to see what the car is going to do because sometimes it'll back up because if it doesn't think it has enough room. So it's stop. Is it going to go? Oh. Yeah, see, it's backing itself up because it knows it's going to hit the valet thing.
It doesn't really even need a steering wheel.
No.
Wow, look at that. Perfect. It was just
So it backs up and it goes.
perfect.
Yeah, that's going to be the Cybercab. The Cybercab is going to be the one without the steering wheel.
I'd ask, there's Reed.
There
I
he
thought
is.
he started
Yeah.
masturbating again.
Yeah.
Well, well, there he is.
That's awesome.
Oh.
That's fantastic. Great. Yeah, man. So what'd you think?
I mean, I think,
Did you even know you were in a self-driving car?
oh, what did I think of that?
Yeah,
I thought
yeah.
you meant something else. Well, maybe only because of the smoothness that
Okay.
I know. But again, I keep asking myself, how could I be wrong about this?
I know.
How could I be wrong about the Great Disruption? How could I be
Yeah.
wrong about... And the only conclusions I've come to are maybe another company does it. The energy thing, I keep coming back to that.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm the debt thing, I keep coming back to that.
Yeah.
The China has some secret thing, I come back to that.
Yeah.
But then, you know, Reed doesn't like Bayesianism, but, you know, you have to assign priors and stuff. It just seems so obvious to me. And
Yeah.
the thing that's deeply concerning to me is that we're not having a national conversation.
Yeah.
I don't see us planning the infrastructure for this.
Yeah.
I don't. It shouldn't be on Musk. It should be.
On everybody.
Yeah.
Should be on everybody.
And I think, you know, it's incumbent upon us in a democracy that we need to take this shit seriously.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. Yeah, I agree 100%. And I think conversations like this help, and I think that's why people come to watch me. And there's so many creators. Like I'm one of many. You know, I'm one of many.
Dude,
in this
don't
space.
get hit in this, Reed. What's your YouTube channel?
So my YouTube channel is just Farzad, Farzad, Farzad. Go check it out. Same exact thing on X as well. But there's so many different.
Tell people what you talk about.
I talk about Tesla, I talk about Musk industry, I talk about artificial intelligence, I talk about the impact of technology on society quite a bit as well, because that's a conversation we haven't had enough of. And I really want to thank you because this is the kind of conversation I hope happens more often, because this is exactly what we need.
So, you know, we're in front of the University of Austin.
Yeah.
I would love to see you talk there. I
Yeah,
would
I'd love
love
to.
to see you, like,
I'd love to.
you know, just even if it's not a big public thing, with students, get
Yeah.
you in and like have people ask you questions about all these
I'd
things.
love
I
to.
think it would be great.
I'd love to. Yeah, I think anything we can do as a society to prepare for the inevitable disruption.
Totally,
It's
100%.
regardless if we want it or not, it's coming. The forcing function from a cost savings perspective is too large. It's too large, so it's going to happen regardless. The question is, how do we as a society ensure we all win instead of the few winning and everybody else is fucked? That's the conversation.
Totally.
That's the
All right, man.
conversation. Yeah, man.
Thank you. I really appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
That was
Likewise,
terrific.
man. Yeah,
Thank
thank you very
Thank
much.
you. It was
yeah,
great. It was
really
great.
appreciate all the work you do.